all the efforts you're putting into raising funds for us. We're so grateful. I'd also like to thank everybody who's here this evening for coming along and supporting us and supporting the Mayor. For some of us, this is not the first time we've been here. We were here a few years ago at the request of one of the previous mayors, a wonderful man, Councillor Tajinder Dami. So just a few words on behalf of Heartlink. We're here tonight with 50 of our members and supporters, and we're very, very pleased to be here. And I'd just like to say thanks to one or two key people in Heartlink who are here tonight. That's Trevor and Lonin and Mohinder, who do all the work. If you just stand up for a second. And also, I'd like to say a word or two of thanks for our trustees at Ealing Hospital. That's Professor Kuna, Dr. Harmandeep Singh, who's here tonight with us, Professor Rosen, and Dr. Zephyr. And one other key figure there, who is Gary Latouche, who's here tonight, who is the head nurse on the heart ward. As the Mayor has said so clearly, we exist to help heart patients, their families and carers in Ealing. Heart disease ranks above cancer as the biggest killer in the UK. And after people are treated, there is only very limited support for heart patients. And we are here in Ealing to fill that gap. And we particularly target the areas of the borough where there are the biggest problems regarding heart disease, and that is particularly around Southall and Greenford. So we provide a support network, we run meetings, as the Mayor has said, we run a support hub, we have a regular walkers group, and we provide one-to-one support through Heart Buddies, who help people who've just been diagnosed. And we particularly support the cardio service and the staff at Ealing Hospital. But we want to do more. Some of you may have seen the news story today from the British Heart Foundation that tells you that 500,000 people UK-wide missed out on receiving heart medication and indeed diagnosis and medication that would help them with potential strokes and diabetes because of COVID. There's an enormous gap about people who go undiagnosed, and we want to start a major heart health awareness campaign in the community, and we need your support. We need money to be able to do this, and that's why we're relying on the Mayor's support and indeed donations from people in the community. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Harmandeep Singh to say a few more words about what we aim to do with our campaign in the community.
So, as you've all heard about Heartlink, what Heartlink does and what they've done since 1994. Now, I'm not going to go into quite a bit of details and bore you all with a long speech about what is expected, what's not. I just want you to think in this way. You've got a heart patient and you're sitting in a cardiology ward in one of the hospitals. Now, you had chest pain, you've been told by a doctor, you've had a heart attack. Now, that took 30 seconds of conversation, right? You've got a whole day sitting and thinking, what's going to happen? Am I going to die? What will be able to do? What I won't be able to do? Who's going to look after my kids? Who's going to look after my business? All of that lot. Now, that's where Heartlink comes in. They go to the patient, they speak to them, and they all are patients themselves who have been through this whole procedure. And that psychological support on the ward cannot be provided by any clinician. We can talk about heart, we can talk about heart diseases. We cannot talk about personal experience, which Heartlink members do. Ealing Heart Support Group is actually Healing Heart Support Group, not just Ealing Heart Support Group. They are the beating hearts of Ealing Cardiology, and they are the ones who support us, support the patients in getting through the difficult phase in their life. Now, following that, what we want to do now is, we believe, if you look at the stats, Ealing Borough has got one of the highest numbers of cardiac diseases, heart failure, diabetes, hypertension, but very, very little awareness about these diseases. I see patients coming into clinic who are like, oh, I've got high blood pressure. My doctor started me on this treatment. I took it for 1 month. My blood pressure is now fine, so I've stopped the treatment. Now that is lack of awareness, that they've stopped the treatment. They don't know what exactly these heart diseases are. And as a Healing Heart Awareness campaign, we want to go out into the community, in the religious centers, in community centers, in groups, in various social clubs, to talk about heart diseases, not as a clinician only, but supported by a patient who can talk about his experience and how he got through that. Because I believe that is a more powerful message. We want to go out into high schools, into the kids, to the kids, talk about healthy eating, talk about healthy lifestyle. They are our future. They are the next generation. If we tap it early, when they grow up, they will learn healthy habits. If I talk to somebody who's been drinking Coke, for example, for the last 40 years, and I say, you need to stop this, it is hard for them. But if we nip it down to the people who are just about to start, when they grow up, they will have a very healthy lifestyle, which is what we want to promote, and we can decrease the burden of this disease. So for Heartlink, this is what we want to do as a Healing Heart Awareness campaign. We want all of you to be involved, not just with financial support, which Bernard has already talked about, but please, if you are involved in any sort of community projects, any community social groups, we want to come in and we want to talk to your group. We want to go to the mosques, we want to go to the churches, we want to the temples, gurdwaras, we want to speak to students, we want to speak to college students, all of them. So please, 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 from the Heartlink side, a humble appeal, please join us in this Heart Health Awareness campaign. Thank you.
Before I go further, I want to tell you everyone, Heartlink people, they booked not 1 table, not 2 tables, not 3 tables. They booked 5 tables. In a big hand, I salute them.